guess who remembered to hopefully, fingers crossed, turn the actual audio on. Welcome everyone to another Dilemma Centre live, and the last one before we go into the season. Game week 1 is upon us. It is tomorrow. Arsenal versus Leicester. Around this time, the programme will hopefully be kicking off for Friday Night Football, and we'll have finally some Premier League action. We don't care about internationals. We don't care about any sort of, pre-season. We care about Premier League. And I care about solving all your dilemmas, in which we've got a few pre-planned to talk about, in which I'll show you hopefully there. Yep, that's still working. And we are going to try something different, so the stream might crash. Big warning, and hello to everyone. Jeff Holt, hi Kurt, first time on your stream. Hopefully you enjoy it. Our manager Singh, Renego Lee says hi up at the top. I know Phone Bill 190 said hi. Torres Magic says hi. Still got a cough, but we're getting there. We are going to try something a lot riskier this week. I'm going to be on Skype with someone. Now, last time I did this I was with J&O and the stream survived. Now, I'm not so sure. I'm worried. I'm really worried. The stream might die. So we are going to call up a mystery guest, and it's around this sort of time he comes out. He comes out of hibernation a couple of weeks every year. And hello Rohan Sharma, hello everyone to the stream. 25 people in the stream, but this time in the stream is massive. But we are going to hopefully bring the guest in. I will message him, then we'll start answering your questions, get his opinion on things. I'll message him right now. Oh, it's been a long week. By the way, whilst I'm here, what do you think of FPLT? It is still a work in progress. By the time Game Week 38 comes around, that will hopefully be a fully fledged, fantastic 45 to an hour long video. But it's getting there. It's getting there. Shazby, first timer here. Hi there. Hello. We are just waiting for him to respond. He has just responded saying yes. So we are going to call him. Hope some of you OGs might remember or recognise his voice, but we are going to call him. We'll turn it on so you can hear the ringing. Hopefully, you can hear the ringing. Let me know if you can hear him actually, and how well you can hear him. Can you hear the calling? Or you can hear the calling on the stream. Can I?
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
You are very crackly, but it's all right. It's all right.
Am I? Hang on. Am I like? Is it my fucking? Is it my connection? I don't.
Say hello. By the way, I should have said.
Hello.
Yeah, that's the.
Wait, are you live already?
You said hello to 27 live people. That is what you said hello to. God. Should have mentioned
cheers
that.
For letting me know. Yeah. I could have come into this effing and blinding.
Could have come. Oh, you've cut out.
Oh, what was that? God damn it.
Right, if you cut out, oh well. But yes, some of you might recognise him. I've grown a lot, so a lot of you probably are new. But like I said, he comes out of hibernation a few weeks every year. It is Gingy X or Joe or Dean Ambrose or whatever alter egos you have. Lamel Shinak and Hespong. Let's not forget that one. Rodrigo and Nacho. But friend, I suppose I could call him. Friend from outside of YouTube who tries to do YouTube once every year. Goes 3 game weeks and...
I didn't even make it to game week 1 this year.
Well, you still got time. 24 hours to go. Just over.
Welcome to my game week 1 predictions.
Well, you still got time.
No.
24 hours. Yeah,
No.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
It's going to be a long stream. Also, 35 people in the stream for me is insane. Because I don't think I've reached that high since J&O was in there. And now I've reached this high with another guest. So I'm beginning to see a trend here. And people don't come to this channel for me. dear. Renego Lee says, "Oh, congrats on 4K subs." Thank you. I didn't even think I'd reach 1K when I started on this channel. Now I'm at 4K. Who knew? But we have got a load of questions to go through. The chat is absolutely... I'll tell you what, I'm not going to try and pronounce those first two bits, but Kanzija, call me. Maybe I will one week. I'm up to calling anyone. But we have got a load of questions in the chat. We've got a load of questions to do beforehand. I feel like it's on me to do it, a few of them first. So we are going to go onto the comments. I'm going to get you to answer the first one. It's from Rob Laurel. He says, "I really wanted a midfield of Zaha, Kevin De Bruyne and Salah and Ali. This leaves me with a weak back line. Do I downgrade Salah or do I downgrade Zaha to Milivojevic to upgrade my defence or go weak defence on game weeks 1 to 6?
I mean, it depends on who is in the defence, because if you've got strong, decent-ish defenders in decently defensive sides, teams like West Brom, to an extent Palace, maybe even Burnley or teams like that, your defence might be stronger staying weaker and having a stronger midfield. But Milivojevic isn't going to win you many points in the midfield, so unless you're going to have him on the bench, I would keep it to sort of a weaker defence.
So you're saying stick with Zaha?
Well, the thing is with Zaha, it's just he's a bit inconsistent too often for me. Because I did put him in my team yesterday, and then I went back on myself, chucked Redmond back in because I just didn't think that Zaha was going to do it for me.
Yeah, it is a very interesting one. I just realised I'm still... there is a little secret project coming up, which I'm doing with FPL updates, and I'm still logged into their team, / my team, which I need to sort out. But I think the draw with Milivojevic is that Crystal Palace in pre-season have gone to 3 at the back, which means 2 central midfielders. He was quite favourable last season, and last season he did take over penalties, so that could be a slight draw, but he's not going to pick up as many going forward as Zaha playing the sort of Eden Hazard role, is he?
No, well, I mean, this season, new boss at Crystal Palace, I reckon Benteke will be back on penalties straight away from the start of the season.
I think he should be, but he has a bad record of missing penalties in the Premier League, which is worrying for Palace fans. But Zaha, I could see him doing well. He's been phenomenal in pre-season, breaking ankles left, right, and centre, and that is something we've really got to.
Yeah, that is something you've got to look at as well.
Because even if he has a poor game, shooting wise, passing wise, if he can just get into those positions, something's bound to happen. Unless you're Adama Traore. We are going to go on to an OG of the channel, Thomas McCarthy. I'm not sure he's in the chat, but he left a comment on the video a few days ago saying, "My team, would you change anything? Foster, Cedric, Daniels, Bertrand, Zaha, Ali, Salah, De Bruyne, Rodriguez, Lukaku, Lacazette, and on the bench he's got Rob Elliott, Angel Rangel, Chowbury, and Hunemeyer." So you've got a front 11. Very much. I'm assuming you're going to be early wildcarding. If you do, could be well, because that bench is getting you nothing.
That bench is hardly going to play this season. Angel Rangel might play a game or two, but he's got so many picks this year because of his low transfer price of, I think, 4 million.
Yeah, he's 4 million.
Yeah. Personally, I mean, I think the bench sometimes needs to be as strong as the players on the pitch, because if you have an injury to someone just before the game, or someone doesn't get picks for any reason, you don't want someone coming in that isn't playing anyway, or is just going to pick you up a point.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
And knowing Angel Rangel will get booked as well, so...
That player comes on thinking, "Oh, excellent, at least I got 1 point." Booked. Oh, Christ. My bench is... I've got... Made sure my bench at least plays. So my bench, I've got... currently, which I'll show you later, currently my final team, but I'll probably make changes to it anyway. I've got back for Francis from Bournemouth, Azpilicueta, Cedric and Davis, because Trippier, I think, is injured. My other defender is Lewis Dunk, because I know he's going to play. In midfield, I've got 4.5 in Tom Carroll from Swansea, because I know he's going to play. And also 6 million in Elias Kachunga, because I really do think he's going to have a fantastic season. Nothing but the fact I like the geezer. That's it.
I mean, I like Kachunga from our FIFA days from last year, Kurt. But no, was it last year or the year before?
I think the year before.
Anyway, he was decent on there. I mean, my sort of cheap bench has got the likes of Danny Simpson, Tom Carroll, and it will be at the moment Ryan Bertrand, but that's only because Trippier, because Ryan Bertrand. Let me restart that. Trippier's injured, so Ryan Bertrand's coming in. However, as soon as Trippier is back, I'll probably end up taking Bertrand out and putting in a cheaper defender, and investing in Antonio instead of Arnautovic.
Oh, he's gone. I would like to say, Prias, I believe his name was. Thank you for subbing. I got a little sub alert on my stream.
I've paused the stream because I think it's all making me lag.
But yeah, thank you for subbing, Prias. We've also got HC Peasant in the chat. Says, "Hey Kurt, what's your team looking like, HC Peasant? Huh? No? Oh, I'll stop. But welcome, Harry. Welcome. Thank you for dropping on by. We've got another. Let's go through two more. We'll go through Ishrak. Oh, no. And Baz the Titan King. Let's do Baz the Titan King first. That's quite a cool name. Will Martina start for Everton, do you think? Personally, I feel yes. They wouldn't have brought him in unless he wanted to start. He wouldn't have joined Everton to become behind Holgate, which effectively means he signed a contract with a club to become third choice right back once Seamus Coleman becomes fully fit. That to me suggests that he's been promised first team football whilst Coleman gets back. So I'd say for now, yes. Once Coleman's back, he's gone. He's done. He is, off with your head. He's not playing again because Coleman is insane compared to Martina. But for now, I think he'll play. Am I right in saying that, I suppose?
I mean, I couldn't think of an argument as to why. The only thing I would say is that Mason Holgate, don't forget, did finish the end of last season playing in right back. So perhaps Coleman's going to stick with the boys that he knows rather than one of his new signings, just to sort of say, look, you did this for us at the end of the last season. We'll keep you in because of how well you did. Because he was, he didn't do that bad.
The young players, they've got a fantastic young squad at Everton. The young players coming through. You look at Calvert-Lewin, Tom Davies, Holgate's another one. You've got Pennington, which I really wanted Sheffield Wednesday to sign on loan. We've made no approach. We have made an approach apparently for Harley Dean after Johan Juru deal collapsed, which is good. But it's an interesting one. Holgate, I feel like if Everton were to go 5 at the back, or 3 centre-backs, Holgate could also, and Martina as well, could slip into the right centre-back role, which is another option, but...
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd play Holgate over Martina.
I would as well, but I wouldn't see Martina, unless he's going there for the money, going to a club to potentially become a third-choice right-back. It makes no sense to me, really. It just makes no sense.
No, I agree with that as well. But you've got to remember, there's false promises, always false promises, isn't there? What the hell is that?
Not too sure. Hold on. I'll ask this next question, which you can answer. Willian plus Benteke or Pedro plus Gabbiadini? Which pair is the better option?
Willian and Benteke, for me. Gabbiadini had a good start to his time at Southampton. However, will he continue it on into the new season? I don't know. Since he got injured and he came back, he wasn't exactly top dog as such. He wasn't getting the same amount of goals he was. And Willian, of course, is a player that's very good. However, is Conte going to play him is another question. So it's sort of stuck because as Willian, we all know how good he's been over the years for Chelsea, but he doesn't seem to be a Conte sort of player.
I am back, and it was fireworks. I could see the smoke. It was just incredibly close to my house.
Okay.
Hence the reason it was so loud. Willian Benteke or Pedro plus Gabbiadini? It depends. A lot of people, and I think it's more of the sort of the fads now, the fads. More people at early wildcarding. I'm potentially probably going to do it as well. I tried to hold out, but the early wildcard after like game week 5 is looking like it's a real thing because of Everton's fixtures. But I think at the moment Hazard is injured for the first at least 3 game weeks. So Willian and Pedro both play. It's just about whether I think Pedro's more long term, as we saw last season. Gabbiadini could be good. I've risked him in my team purely because I'll need that differential to hopefully score points to put me above the rest. Benteke, you know what you're going to get with Benteke. He scores goals, he bullies defenders. You know he's going to get a 10 plus goal season, and he's probably going to be on penalties, hopefully. But it's an interesting one. I think long term you're looking at the right hand side. Short term, because when Hazard's back, Willian's gone. It's probably the Willian Benteke. That's where I stand on that. Just to quickly, are you keeping up to date with the chat, Joe?
A little bit.
Harry says we scored around her. Hello, more people joining. 42 people in this stream. That is phenomenal. Thank you all for so much support. We're going to go up and we're going to quickly go for a few of the questions from the top of the stream. It's currently 7:15. We've got questions from about 10 to 7, so we've got a lot to get through.
You're not going to get to my question anytime soon, are you?
Well, if you'd stick around to wait for your answer, like last time. Oh, wait, hold on a minute.
Last time I had football, though. We're getting sidetracked.
Anyway, we will try and blast through these, but I do like to get sidetracked. Tommy Rose says, I saw your Captain Picks video. Thank you. Hopefully you liked the video. You better have fucking liked the video. Anyway, and I have both De Bruyne and Lukaku in my team. Who would you say I should captain? What are your thoughts?
Sorry, I missed the question. I was reading some of the other ones.
De Bruyne or Lukaku for the captaincy pick?
Lukaku.
For the first game week?
Sorry, yeah, Lukaku by far. I've tipped Lukaku to score a debut hat-trick.
He's a West Ham fan. Just to let you all know.
West Ham fan.
Just to let you all know. That's where
his goal scoring record against West Ham is too good. And I think Lukaku's going to score a hat-trick against us, and then he's not going to score for about 2 months. Unless he plays Burnley at home in front of the home crowd.
Mind you, having said that, Burnley at Old Trafford 0-0.
Don't say he scored. Oh, I thought you were about to say he scored against Real Madrid.
No, I think he scored 3 goals in the pre-season, but missed a few sitters, which has concerned people. But the fact is, he'll get in those positions. He'll have the support for people to get those balls into him. At the end of the day, if he gets 4 or 5 in a game, he's going to score at least 1. So.
But I would say that Lukaku is going to guarantee you at least a goal on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. And with my draw, for me, I've got Lukaku and De Bruyne in my team. I haven't actually changed my captaincy pick, so currently it's just on my top striker and the goalkeeper as my vice captain. My captain though is I've got De Bruyne and Lukaku in my team. My captain is De Bruyne simply because I can see that one, the Man United game being a tight game. Lukaku maybe only getting a goal. I can see City against Brighton absolutely destroying them, sending them and flushing them back down to the Championship before they've even finished their first game. The attack they've got, and it's something that I mentioned, City are the only team in the league that if all 5 or 6 of their attackers aren't working, they can bring on 3 world-class, potential first team starting, Premier League potential winning attackers to change things up. They're the only team that can do that. And De Bruyne is going to play at the heart of it. He's one that's really liked by Guardiola. One of the Guardiola signings, I believe. Fingers crossed that's right. I don't think he is actually. I'm not sure. Anyway, he is really good and he will be at the heart of things. He got 21 assists last season. That's only set to continue. You look at Jesus, is coming into form, barely played last season. Aguero, hopefully, back to full fitness and not killing people. You've got Bernardo Silva coming in as well. You've got decent fullbacks to support you as well. I think De Bruyne has so much potential to score big points, albeit he might not, but I'm willing to take that risk, personally.
De Bruyne is going to be a big point scorer. He is every year. He's going to get you goals and he's going to get you assists. The fact they're playing Brighton actually does swing me more towards that way. However, the West Ham defence of last season has seemed to be very present during pre-season. So it could go either way.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I love the way how I decided we were going to go through some quickfire questions, and I waffled on that question. Phone bill 190. Let's just come on, Kurt. You can do this. I'm stuck. Can you help me with my team? Foster, Daniels, Bertrand, Kolasinac, Norton. I like Norton. Pogba, De Bruyne, Willian, Lukaku, Jesus, and Firmino. That looks like a very big team. I feel like your defence probably or your bench is going to be weak. Make sure you've got people that are at least picking up 2 points on your bench. Worst comes to worst, someone comes off or it doesn't play in the game, starts on the bench, doesn't play, gets injured before kick-off. You've got players to come in rather than losing those points, is what I'd say. Your thoughts?
No, I do think it's a very strong team. I just have to agree with you, really, because the bench is the important bit. I mean, you don't have to spend so much on a keeper. However, it is sort of good to have a keeper that's going to be playing. And that's why I've got Joe Hart and Ben Foster as my keepers.
Yeah, wait, Foster and Joe Hart?
Yeah,
Oof.
both 4.5 million.
Joe Hart's a good catch this year. Oh well, kill myself. Moving on. Keegan Diabrio says, hey, quick question. Are you Swansea, Ali Phillips and Forster, or Loftus-Cheek, Salah, Chicharito? And I don't quite get it, so I'll move on. Phone bill, do the second one, but Forster instead of De Gea and Firmino instead of Chicharito. He's replying to that person. Okay. Will Davis from Spurs start? Yes, and he could be for the entire season after Danny Rose's comments about Spurs. Interesting time to make them right before the start of the season, Danny. Very interesting.
Get a move to Man United, maybe.
I think he's still injured. I think he's still definitely ruled out of the first game week, but Davis, I think, is definitely going to start after his comments. We've got a load of replies to that comment. Shaz B says Fabregas, James Ward-Prowse, or Matt Phillips. I'll leave you with this one.
Matt Phillips. If you've got the choice between a winger and a centre mid, 90% of the time I'll go for the winger, because the winger is more likely to get you assists and goals. I don't know if you agree with that at all, Kurt, but Ward-Prowse, he'll get you a few assists from his set pieces because he's got a quality dead ball. But when it comes to doing that little bit extra, I think Matt Phillips will take it. And of course, Matt Phillips is also one of West Brom's main goal threats.
Yeah, he was one of their highest point scorers, only behind Macaulay and Rondon last season. Macaulay, for obvious reasons, he scored about 30 goals, and Rondon because he's their main striker. However, with Rodriguez up there, who knows for now, but I'd say Phillips is a good option. Fabregas for the short term could be good, but he's a bit of a risk. And Ward-Prowse, I'd say, personally, I feel there's better options in the Southampton midfield. There's a lot of replies. I don't think there's many questions. Let's go on. We've got first stream. I've read this. I've read this. Have a dilemma about Lacazette and Jesus. I'm not sure Jesus will start the game. The thing is about that, and something that I'm sure people miss because I don't watch all of my content. Jesus last season, when Aguero was playing, he played out wide. When Aguero wasn't playing, he played in a striker. He is very much a Pep Guardiola player. He's very much liked by Pep Guardiola. No matter what, I think he's starting the season, and he's getting goals as well. He played half the time in striker, half the time in out wide last season. He got 7 goals and 4 assists in 10 games. Need I say more? That's all I've got to say about that, really. I'm right, aren't I? Aren't I?
I believe so. I'm sort of torn between a few strikers myself at the moment. So
I'm dead set. The only one I'm torn on is if I upgrade Lukaku to Kane. But I'm pretty sure
I've already got Kane in there.
I'm going Kaneless. I'm very much different on that.
Kaneless. I like that. Kaneless.
I picked it up off somewhere on Twitter and I can't remember who.
I think he's going to score this against Newcastle.
He should do. Newcastle haven't made the right signings. They haven't made very many signings. Benitez is not happy with Mike Ashley at the moment, so that could be interesting.
They've not really made many defensive signings. They're saying, what, Manquillo?
Manquillo's been signed. They signed Bedouin, I think, from the Spanish league.
Lejeune,
that's it. Lejeune, not Bedouin. Lejeune, that's Southampton who signed. Bednarek, that's the one I was thinking of. Lejeune signed. To be fair, Jacob Murphy's good, but not Premier League starting team good. And he's not a defender. That's also another one. Yeah, we've got to consider. Rengo Lee says, I'm still confused to choose between Tadic or Redmond. Please help. I've said my opinion quite a lot. I feel like you've just said, but it cut out a bit. What did you say? Redmond.
Yeah. I prefer Redmond over Tadic.
Oh, another difference in opinion.
There we go. What's your justification for Tadic?
I feel like they're going to play a lot of the pre-season and the main pre-season game before the season started. 4-2-3-1. Tadic in the centre. He had a better, for me, season than Redmond last season. Redmond misfired, although he was all right in the under 21s. Tadic as well. I feel like with a fully fit Austin, a fully fit Gabbiadini, a fully fit Shane Long, you've got pace, you've got trickery, and you've got a target man. I think that's something that Tadic will really play off. He can get those. He's a bit like Ericsson to Southampton, like Ericsson is to Spurs. He'll be able to drift wide and get those crosses in. Should be on set plays. Thank you to Sarabar. I'm just going to say double S. Thank you to double S for subscribing. For me, I just feel like he's going to be more of a main man than Redmond, who could see himself pushed out of the team.
Who's he going to get pushed out of the team by, though?
Well, that's the thing, is that I'm not 100% on anyone, really, because you look at the attack, you've got Austin who could play up front, same as Long, same as Gabbiadini. Long and Gabbiadini can be pushed out wide. You look at wide players, Redmond can play it, Tadic can play it. I think Buffal's due a good season. I think he could do it as well. They've also, at some point, got to add the bloke they signed from Juventus, Mario Lemina.
Lemina's a centre mid, though.
Yeah, but that means that if you're playing in centre mid, that could maybe push, it could push like James Ward-Prowse into attacking position, Tadic out wide.
I thought you were going to say James Ward-Prowse on the wing, and I was about to just leave the call and say, why are you James Milnering him?
No. You see, 3 seasons later, we're looking at James Ward-Prowse is a fantastic option for left back. Anyway, we'll leave that right there. Another subscriber, cool. Chris Britton, thank you for subscribing. I can say that name. I can't say most other names. We need to really get through these quick because I'm really slowing everyone down here. Hi there, I posted this on a video earlier, but I'd love to know your views on Deeney and Andre Gray at Watford. A good pick for 6.5. Personally, I feel like Deeney has always been a good pick. Andre Gray maybe puts into question. Maybe they're going to go 2 up the top. Hopefully they do, because they could play really well for each other. But I'd go Deeney over Andre Gray, because Deeney, you've seen constant playing well in the Premier League, and he's going to score goals eventually. He's a penalty taker as well. Andre Gray, bit of a flop so far in his career, so not too sure what to make on that. What are your quick thoughts?
Andre Gray's a bit up and down, isn't he?
Yeah.
He could have a really good sort of 15 goal season, or he could have a 6 goal season.
That is a very, very true point. Another comment that I've seen coming in is Lawrence De Poitier of Huddersfield is a good choice, ? I'd say no.
Unproven.
Unproven. He has a shocking record in other leagues. That and the fact Stevie Mooney has started playing a lot in pre-season. Naki Wells has been told he can leave, so I don't see him starting. And Colin Quainer, for some reason, I think he's... Bless him, he tries. I don't think he's the best quality, but he's really liked by David Wagner. The only thing De Poitier has is something that Huddersfield don't, which is a target man. So that could come into play off the bench. But for me, Mooney's a starter, so De Poitier is a bit of a waste of money. We've got people here from Serbia. We've got people here from America. Whew, my goodness. Deadline day panic buys. Yes, on FPL. That's something we're all going to go through, I'm sure. We've got up to your heart, so we're getting there. Kane or Kevin De Bruyne for captain? For me, Kevin De Bruyne. For you?
You lagged. Who in the De Bruyne?
Kane or Kevin De Bruyne for captain?
Don't make me answer that one. Because I've gone for Kane. But I don't have De Bruyne.
Ooh.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Ooh. Interesting stuff. Shaz B says Tommy Smith, good £5 million defender. Options other than Saints, Defenders, or Bournemouth. He would be if he was at a stronger team. He's in an unproven Huddersfield side that many predict to go down. £5 million, bit of a rip-off. You may as well go 4.5 on Chris Lerver for me if you're going to go Huddersfield. Ali or Ericsson, that is something that is costing so many people. I'll get you to comment on it. Ali or Ericsson?
Ericsson.
Yeah, I was Ali at first. but I changed to Eriksen because I feel like set plays and everything, Eriksen's all over it. Is having 2 Liverpool attackers...
The problem for Dele Alli is he's had very sort of inconsistent times over the past sort of year or two.
Yeah.
A few weeks where he's just not done anything. So
yeah, I can
as well.
That. Now let's see what your priorities are. I'll put you above normal. Hopefully this won't lag my stream out. Is having 2 Liverpool attackers too risky? For me, yes.
It's one from James Milner.
I hope not. I really hope not. But yeah, it's too risky for me. Your thoughts quickly?
Yes, it's way too risky having 2 Liverpool attackers because due to their injuries to start with, but just in general as well.
Also, stay away from Coutinho. Is all I'll say.
Have a nice drink.
Oh, thank you. Rick Powell Thendup says Southampton midfielder pick. No one stands out. We've already covered that. Joe said Redmond, the person I'm on the call with, by the way, if you've joined. 50 flipping viewers. My goodness, that is mental for me, because I've never reached that high. I don't even think you've reached that high with J&O, so that is a fantastic achievement. You're the first person to do it with me, Joe. There you go.
I'm just really glad to be here.
I can't believe you've done this. But yeah, Rick Powell, we've covered the Southampton midfielder before. He says Redmond, I say Tadic. William Fabregas or Atsu, or maybe someone else. Atsu's an interesting one. It's one I didn't really consider up until I looked back at the pre-season.
He's someone I've actually just put in. I just put him in.
What, Atsu?
Yeah.
So he's been playing a lot in pre-season. He's doing bits in pre-season, so makes me worried. But yeah, I'd say Atsu's probably a good choice. Phone Bill asked his question again. I think
the thing is, one thing to remember about Atsu though is he flopped at Bournemouth in his one Premier League season. So
that is one thing I am worried about. But maybe he's turned the corner. Who knows? We can only hope. You can do this, Kurt. You can do this. Shebzadon says, "Hey Kurt, how do you think Mkhitaryan will fare this season? Is he worth 8.0? I've done a bit of a thing on Mkhitaryan in my FPLT, which is a 45 minutes absolute worldie of an episode. So go watch it if you haven't already. But to cover that bit, I said he's doing all right in pre-season. 3 goals and 3 assists this current pre-season. He's always played 45 minutes or more, and I can see him starting the season. I think he's finally fit into Mourinho's way of playing completely, and he could be one to consider. There is sounds like firecrackers. That's how far behind we are. Pennington's on loan at Leeds. That's depressing. So we could have got him. And also, I'd like to say thank you to Blake Middleton for subscribing. So we could have got Pennington. I wanted Borthwick Jackson. We couldn't get Borthwick Jackson. We couldn't even get Juru because wages are too high. And hopefully we can get Harley Dean from Brentford because I do really like him. And I actually said him in my transfer targets video earlier in the season. Any 4.0 million defenders for starting? There's none. There's none.
Unfortunately, there is a reason they're 4.0 million.
Yeah. I mean, last season, we went on loan. We had Ake, but Ake, of course, he scored 3 goals, so now he's worth 5 million, which is obscene. I can't understand it. But yeah, there's none, and we are gonna now catch up with the chat completely by accident. Let's go. Pardon me.
I'm actually on the next question, I believe.
Oh, go on. You say it. You tell the question.
It says, well, it's my starting 11. I've no money left. This is from Master KPM. De Gea, Cedric, Alderweireld, Bertrand, Eriksen, Willian, Zaha, De Bruyne, Firmino, Lukaku, and Chicharito. Any suggestions? Maybe take Willian out. I don't know if he's going to play. And replace him with a much sturdier choice of Arnautovic. No, I won't say that.
For God's sake. If anything, Arnautovic is not sturdy.
Yeah, well, I think he might be injured for the first week. But you could look at a few other players at 7 million, perhaps. I'm actually just trying to load it up on FPL, so let's just stick with me, Kurt. I don't know what your opinion is of it.
Thank you for Mr. Kyle for subscribing. Continue, sir.
Even someone like Juan Mata could be a better choice than Willian, just because I know that Mata's going to play, and he's, probably the main playmaker now for Man United in this, probably for next season at the very least.
Yeah, I can see that. Personally, double Southampton coverage. At this point in the season, double coverage is risky because we don't know much about teams. But I think Southampton is the safest team to do it. Yeah, generally pretty solid. Again, your team looks expensive, so I'm assuming your bench is. Although you only got one really premium striker, so it could be all right. Except Chicharito. Lukaku and Chicharito, sorry. I should have said. Or Chicharito. But I really starting to turn to Gabbiadini. He's in my team, and I really think he's going to have a good start to the season. You look at Southampton's fixtures on the fixture difficulty rating. They have got, let's read out their fixtures up until game week 11. Swansea, West Ham, Huddersfield, Watford, Crystal Palace, Man United, Stoke, Newcastle, West Brom, Brighton, Burnley.
I mean, there's 3 relatively tough games in that.
Man United is one.
I wasn't exactly saying that Brighton was one.
What were the other tough teams then? Just out of curiosity.
Well, West Ham, Southampton's always been a tough game.
Days at home,
Man
by
United.
the way, because your stadium isn't ready because of athletics.
Yeah, well, F the athletics. And you don't know what Stoke are going to be like this season.
See, I've tipped Stoke to go really far down. Having said that, actually, time to plug my own channel. Since we got 53 people watching now. Tomorrow, we've got 2 more videos. We've got my final team, which I'll lock in and probably change half the players for by the start of the season. And also, after last season's success, my Premier League predictions is finally coming out. And there is one team in there which will make people slam on that dislike button, but I'm not telling you who.
Leicester are going to get relegated!
I haven't actually put them. I've put them in the bottom half.
Oh, let's have no spoilers.
Oh, okay, I haven't put them in the bottom half. Put them to win.
Well, there's no point watching it now.
Ruin the whole video. But let's get on to the next question, which is from Ginjix.
Brilliant.
Ginjix?
Yep.
Ginjix, is that how you say
it? Yeah.
From Joe. Person who I'm talking to.
I mean, I'm not going to answer this question.
I was going to say, I thought, what are your thoughts on that? Is this basically you asking me a question, Lukaku or Lacazette?
Well, because I'm really sort of sitting there, I'm struggling myself. I'm trying to decide between Lukaku, Lacazette, Aguero, and Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus, easily.
You think?
Again,
is he going to get me 30 goals this season?
He got you 7 goals and 4 assists in 10 games. You times that by 3, you get 30 games from him this season. You get 21 goals and you get 12 assists in 30 games. Plus the bonus points you'd get from that. He's easily going to get you 200 plus points if he carries on like that. He's Pep's favourite. He's not going to be dropped. Aguero could get dropped. Lukaku, you never know what he's going to be like away from home. Lacazette, new to the league.
Yeah, I mean, I did want to go with Lacazette at first because I thought he's going to get a lot of goals, but I'm not too sure. You know what? I'm doing it now.
Oof, controversial.
I'm doing it now. I'm putting in Jesus.
We've got another question. Kane or Lacazette for the first 4 game weeks? I think we're both on Kane there. Chris Britton, who recently just subscribed, comes in with Fellaini to outscore Lukaku against West Ham for FPL points.
After that face he pulled the other day, I think the West Ham players are going to be laughing at him the next time they see him.
Did you see Axel Witsel saying this is the fella challenge, and he tweeted one of him doing it as well?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it was brilliant. By the way, not specified, that's a weird name. Thank you for subscribing. We've hit 60 people watching in the stream. This is It's getting a bit
Calm
phenomenal.
down.
Sooner or
Calm.
later, we'll be on Sky Sports News for breaking world records.
Mm.
61 people. Anyway, Ishrak Priom. Hopefully I've said all your names right, by the way. Cedric and Redmond or Hegazi and Wijnaldum. I'll let you speak. Oh, and before you do, Tom Flux, thank you for subscribing. Continue.
It was Hegazi and who?
Cedric and Redmond or Hegazi and Genie Wijnaldum.
I'm actually going to go for Hegazi and Genie.
Ooh.
But the only issue is I don't know if Hegazi's going to play, because Pulis is probably going to stick with his usual old guard. But I think that Genie Wijnaldum's a better choice out of that's going to score you points over Redmond, Cedric, and Redmond and Cedric.
Mr. Q, thank you for subscribing. Sorry to interrupt.
I think that if you're going to have Hegazi, I'd put him on the bench.
I think the draw... Oh, my lord. Marcus Midbo. Marcus, I'm just going to tell you. Thank you for subscribing. The draw with Hegazi is that I think a lot of people just looked at, West Brom's page. Macaulay, I don't think he's going to start the season. Evans is a doubt. So that means that leaves you with Neom on the right-hand side, Brunt on the left, and then Dawson in the centre. Potentially neither Evans or Macaulay. So Hegazi then comes into the fray and becomes the other centre-back, which is where, it was, I think Macaulay was out for the first few game weeks. Now he's rumoured to be, he could be back in contention. So I think Hegazi's sort of lost his draw, but he could be good, just for the price. 4.5 million, could start the first few game weeks in a really good West Brom side. That's basically where I stand on it, to be honest. I think that's where the draw was.
Yeah.
Cedric and Redmond is double Southampton, so you've got to make sure basically have no other Southampton players apart from an attacker, which is probably going to be Gabbiadini. Andrew Stewart says Jesus and Van Aanholt or Firmino and Valencia. There's a lot of those doubles. Jesus and Van Aanholt or Firmino and Valencia.
Firmino and Valencia.
Ooh. I'll probably go.
Firmino is going to be Liverpool's main goal threat this season. Danny Sturridge is probably injured, and Valencia is a very good attacking wing back for United, and he'll probably score you quite a few assists over the year as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think you know what you're going to get from Firmino and Valencia. Solid points. Valencia is quite expensive, but then Van Aanholt, 5.5 million for a Crystal Palace defender, of which the defending we don't know much about because it's new management and have generally been poor in the defence in recent seasons. I think he's a bit overpriced in my eyes. His attacking threat is good, but so is Valencia's.
If you were to take out Van Aanholt and spend that 5.5 million on someone like Trippier, Bertrand, Nathaniel Klein when he's back fit, even to be honest, getting someone like Charlie Daniels wouldn't be terrible.
I do like Charlie Daniels. I think he's good.
But if you were to get them over Van Aanholt, I would say that's a better bit of business myself.
Constructive feedback there for Andrew Stewart. Eden Hazard, don't think that's the real one, says Will Norton, open brackets, Southampton, close brackets, play. So obviously Will Norton play for Swansea against Southampton. He should do. They haven't got any other fullbacks really. Olsen's on the left-hand side. Same with Kingsley. The only other fullback is Rangel. And I can't see Rangel starting above him.
I'd be very surprised if Carl Norton didn't play.
So would I. And it gets you into the back line, in which Mawson's 5 million, which again he scored a couple of goals, and all of a sudden he's 5 million. So I think it's a bit too expensive. Olsen as well scored a couple of goals, and he's 5 million. Could be a bit too expensive in my eyes. So I think he's the best way into it. Watch out though for Carl Bartley. Signed a new deal with Swansea. Was terrific at Leeds. I'm so glad he didn't go back to Leeds. Even though the way Leeds are playing at the moment doesn't matter, but he's a phenomenal defender. He's proven this last season. But yeah, Norton should play unless he's injured. The only way he can't play for me. GM Razor 14 says best rotation for first 6 weeks at the back. I think it is here. from a video I did, I have a sticky note on the wall with some of the best fixture rotation pairs. I did a whole video on it, so if you want full in-depth, like 10-minute video on it, then go check out my video on my channel. Personally, I feel like Southampton Bournemouth at the back is the best one. Because if you look at the defence, you could have Daniels and Cedric, or Francis and Cedric, really good pair. Goalkeepers, Forster and Begovic, I think they're really good. The other one that's good is West Brom and Swansea. You can switch out Foster and Fabianski, and you can also, you look at the defence, you can maybe get Hegazi in if he starts playing the first few game weeks, and then the other defenders are ruled out. But if not, someone like Dawson or Nyom. And then in Swansea's side, Norton at 4.5, so cheap options, good rotation, could get you a lot of points. Done my research on that one, so I know how to answer it. Boom.
I'm not going to argue with your research.
I wanted to fill up the entire wall with sticky notes by the end of the season, but I feel like mother and father might kill me. Moving on, one that's very interesting, Loftus-Cheek or Tom Carroll, the battle of the 4.5s. Where do you stand on it?
Tom Carroll.
Easily?
Easily. I think Loftus-Cheek is a good player. However, every team he's played with, he's been around good players. And that can sometimes, without me dissing Loftus-Cheek, it can make you look better than you are. I think that Loftus-Cheek is a good player, but Tom Carroll has been playing in a team that is not it's not a good side. It hasn't been a great side last season. But I think Tom Carroll's your better option.
I can't agree more. Tom Carroll is going to play. Sigurdsson's leaving. It's his chance to step into his shadow. And at £4.5 million, you could potentially get the new Gylfi Sigurdsson. We saw last season he's got a wand of a left foot. If he's allowed to use it, this could be the most devastating cheap player since the likes of Jamie Vardy breaking out, Harry Kane breaking out, Dele Alli breaking out. I had a little note on my desk the other day from when I did a team review, I think a couple of seasons ago. Dele Alli was 5.5 million. Let that sink in a little bit. Let that sink in. Eden Hazard has also commented twice more that Will Norton start. I do apologise, we are miles behind on the chat. Let's just Ericsson or Mane. There we go. That's one for you. Go on. Go. Ericsson.
Mane.
Okay, Mane above Ericsson. Mane or Salah?
Mane.
My front three. Okay, fair enough. My front three is Lukaku, Lacazette, and Firmino. Any improvements needed?
It's pretty strong. Personally, I would go for a not so strong striker than Firmino, because every year, I mean, we didn't really get it last season, but pretty much every year you always get that newly promoted striker that's going to get about 10 goals in the season, and that will probably be just as many as Firmino. So I'd have a little look at some players like perhaps Dwight Gale. Well, I was going to say Nahki Wells at the start of the season, but he's on his way out. To be honest, it's only really Dwight Gale. The other strikers aren't really looking too promising for me.
Stevie Mooney's one that is catching people's eyes at the moment because of his pre-season performances.
Pre-season isn't real football.
Fair enough.
Pre-season doesn't count. If we went off of pre-season, then I'd say West Ham are getting relegated this season, but we're not. We're finishing 16th.
Well, surprisingly, I have seen quite a few people, more than there should be, saying West Ham will get relegated. And even, I spoke to my team leader at work, and he said, well, a lot of people, by the way, are saying Brighton and Huddersfield will go down. He said his third team to get surprisingly relegated was Southampton.
See, I can partially support that, because I think if they lose Van Dijk, they've lost a big leader at the back, and they're not going to be able to replace him. And then they've got, Gabbiadini, is he going to start firing again? Who knows? It's going to be an interesting season again. I love the Prem. I love it.
I think everyone loves the Prem. Apart from me. I like the Championship at the moment. Until we get promoted, then I love the Prem more than the Championship. Matt Ritchie question mark. Good player for FPL.
I almost put Matt Ritchie in at one point because he is a very good winger 2 years ago. He had a good season last year, but that was in the Championship. He'll have a good season, but I don't think he'll have an amazing season, and 6 million might be a little bit too much for him. If you wanted a Newcastle midfielder, I'd probably put in Atsu.
Yeah, Atsu I can see doing it. I think when he was in his first season in the Prem for Bournemouth, I did the maths. He played a part in 12 goals, and Bournemouth scored 55. That's the first season they came up, when Matt Ritchie scored 8 goals and 4 assists, I believe, which makes him just under a quarter of all the goals they've scored he played a part in, which isn't too bad, really, when we think about it. But it could also be improved. MN Cond says Mkhitaryan or Pogba, go.
I see. I like Mkhitaryan, but not as a winger. I like him as a number 10. If Mkhitaryan were playing number 10, I'd say Mkhitaryan. But I'm going to go with Pogba because I think that Pogba's going to have a breakthrough season.
Interesting. So a lot of people say that. I think it could happen as well with Matic coming in and allowing play, a bit more freedom.
Yeah, it's going to give him a bit of a free role in that middle of the park, and no one's going to want to pick up Pogba because he's either going to nutmeg you or he's going to floor you.
Chachi, get ponged.
And if he can find his shooting boots, some of those 40-yard screamers that we saw at Juve could be returning this season.
Indeed. And that is something that will make players scared of Pogba in general. Here's one for you. Sohil, I'm going to stop pronouncing his names. Sohil says, will Chicha start?
Yes. For one reason and one reason only, and that's because Mikel Antonio is injured. I think that Chicharito is a good impact sub, but he does need to prove that he can be a starting player. I think he will start because West Ham actually don't have really any other options.
Yep, I can agree with that. We are going to go back on some pre-comments or planned comments. I suppose that's the right wording, because they were in there first. I do feel bad if we missed them. We ended up with William Benteke or Pedro and Capitini. Armandra Singh says hi. It's not a question.
Hello.
Seb Hodgson, he's been around for quite a while. I'll get to his question. Is Iwobi a decent shout with Sanchez out for a while?
I don't know if Iwobi will still start or play much, because you've got to remember with Arsenal, they've still got Ox, they've got Walcott, they've got that Nelson guy that seems to have broken through in pre-season, and
Football
to
manager.
me seems to be performing better than Iwobi. So it's tough. You could also see the likes of Danny Welbeck out on the wing as well. So
He did start out on the wing in the Community Shield.
yeah, so that might be the answer there, that Welbs will return to the wing while Sanchez is out injured.
Injured, in parentheses.
Injured
/ waiting for Man City to bid.
He's got an 80 million transfer bid injury.
God. How much is it going to cost to fix your leg? Oh, I don't know. Maybe 80.
Transfer to Man City.
Yeah, transfer to Man City. Oh, we can do that then. Oh, I feel better now. Oh, miracle. But we have got an interesting question, quite a long question, from Marco Odendahl, who says, hi Kurtioi, I have chosen Batshuayi. I know it's a risk, but he's had a great pre-season. Costa won't start, and Conte said that Morata has to improve to start up top. So I just want to know your thoughts. Do you think it's a risk that can pay off, or do you think it's a stupid idea? It's a mixture of the both. For me, it's not stupid because I think he will start, and he's shown he can score when he's given the chance the latter parts of last season. Is it a risk that can pay off? Definitely. But it's a mixture in the middle. It's not a massive risk. It's not a really stupid idea.
Thing is, he's playing against Burnley first game of the season.
At home as well.
At home. So he's going to be at home comforts. I think he's going to score. I think he'll get the nod. He won't play the entire game because Morata will get his sort of home Premier League debut that day for probably about half an hour, 25 minutes maybe. But yeah, Batshuayi will definitely start.
Yeah, I can see that. To go into Mario Kovac, says Alexis or Kane? Quick answers. Kane. Should I go for Kevin De Bruyne or Jesus from Raymond Nelson? Nissan, sorry.
I'm assuming Juan Jesus and
Yes.
Juan Jesus? Gabriel.
Oh, Gabriel, sorry, I just realised what you said.
Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus. Yes, Gabriel Jesus.
Who is the best choice, Redmond or Ward-Prowse or Tadic?
Well, we've answered that one already.
Yeah, you say Redmond, I say Tadic. And last one from Afro Bernie. As Coutinho probably moved to Barcelona, is Mo Salah a good replacement?
Mo Salah is a good player as it is. He's shown that in pre-season already. I would say that Coutinho is a good 85% chance leaving. So Salah and Mane will probably step up in those wide positions. So, yeah, I would say Salah's a good replacement.
Going back onto the chat questions. Let's see, we've got a lot of just conversation.
Where we were. Will Lindelof play?
No. I think Mourinho said in pre-season, or said some comments which are very similar to the Mkhitaryan things. I think he'll be frozen out for a bit whilst he gets on his 2 feet. So I don't see Lindelof starting. I think Mourinho's impressed with him at all. Which, to be honest, I said that when he signed on a done deal episode I recorded. I said he's come from a league where the competition is one team. Yeah.
I agree with that completely. Okay, so do you think Morata will have a good season?
No.
From Phone Bill 190?
He won't get 20 plus. He'll get 10 to 19. At 19 at max. I think...
I'm going 8 to 14.
Oh, God.
I don't think he's going to have a good season at all. He's got to settle first, and he's not built for the Premier League.
I'm also thinking that this could be the season that if Batshuayi is allowed to start the season, he can get a scoring run. He won't just be seen as definitely second fiddle. He'll be seen as, if Morata's not, like if Diego Costa, let's say last season, it's quite clear Diego Costa was fancied well more than Batshuayi. But if Batshuayi can get his foot in first and say, look, you put me in the team and I'll do this and start scoring goals. I feel like if Morata doesn't score in a few games, Morata will get benched for Batshuayi. That's the thing I think will happen. And that's why I think Batshuayi can also get 10 to 19 goals. You can have 2 strikers up there potentially.
I think that
you could have 2 up top. Both of them.
If Batshuayi wasn't in Conte's plan for the season, they would have sold him.
Exactly. Or loaned him out to West Ham, as I was saw all the way through the summer.
Yeah, well, didn't want him anyway. So we've got a starting 11, Kurt, from Marcus Mitbo. I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, by the way. So Courtois, Dave Azpilicueta, Marcus Alonso, Baines, Danilo, Walker, De Bruyne, Pogba, Lukaku, Tammy Abraham, and Benteke.
5 at the back then.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of looking at first. Is it 5 at the back? I think it's 5 at the back is very interesting. However, is Danilo on the bench? Is Walker on the bench? Is one of them? Are they both playing? Because in reality, both of them are not going to play at the same time.
I think Mendy's injured for the first few game weeks, so the rumour is that Danilo's on one side, Danilo's on the left probably, Walker is on the right.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what about Kolarov? Or is he gone? He's gone.
Kolarov's gone.
He's gone.
Kolarov's gone, Clichy's gone, Zabaleta's gone, Sanya's gone.
I mean, well, to be fair, Tammy Abraham is someone that I'd forgot about.
I can't see him doing well this season.
He had a good season last year for a struggling Bristol City side, though, didn't he?
In the Championship.
He's a quick striker.
Glenn Murray had a good season in the Championship last season.
Okay, right. There we go. That's the answer. From OC Pertin, Chicharito or Gabbiadini?
Gabbiadini for the start. Much easier fixtures. You look at West Ham's fixtures; they're a lot harder. Chicharito, although he played there before, could take time to settle. I'd think Gabbiadini for the first few game weeks, and then take him out for Chicharito when West Ham have easier fixtures.
Okay, so this is an interesting one from Ahmed Fadili. Will Sandro Ramirez start?
I don't have an opinion on it. It's something that I've dodged this entire pre-season because I would have thought yes, but Rooney seems to have started a lot of the games, so I generally have no idea. I cannot answer that one at all.
I think Sandro Ramirez is an interesting signing. I think he's going to have an okay season. He's not quite Lukaku, but I can't say for sure if he's going to actually start or not.
I'd agree with that. But it's also the fact that they don't actually have a striker. I mean, Rooney's probably an attacking midfielder now. You'd say, and Sandro Ramirez is someone that has played out wide quite a lot. So they don't actually have an out-and-out striker that played there the entire career nowhere else.
Yeah, true.
Worrying.
Okay. So from GM Razor 14, if you're going to put a punt on someone for short term, which player would it be?
For short term?
Mm.
Ooh. Probably someone from Southampton. Either Cedric or Bertrand, if you're looking at to be honest.
Depends where you're looking on the pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm generally not sure. I'm gonna dodge that one as well.
Like when I pick my team, I don't look for it short term. I think more long term. But as Kurt said, Southampton's fixtures are probably one of the easiest, so a Southampton defender might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Shaz B, any 5 million or less third defenders. The other two defenders in my team being Daniels and Bertrand.
What's the first defender?
Charlie Daniels and Ryan Bertrand.
And he wants another defender.
Yeah.
Charlie
5
Daniels,
million or less.
Charlie Daniels and Ryan Bertrand. Depends how much money you've got. So you've got to make sure. I think you've got to make sure
5 million or less.
5 million or less. I don't know.
It's a tough one for you, isn't it?
Go with, I'll say West Brom coverage. You've got so many 5 million defenders. Dawson or Nyom, someone that's is going to start. Maybe even Zabaleta. Not sure. I can't think of anyone else that's 5 million.
He'll play, but I'm not sure if how we're going to be defensively. What about someone like Andrew Robertson, though? Liverpool left back?
Well, see, I don't know if Milner's going to start there, or if Robertson's going to start there, or if the newly reformed's done pretty good in pre-season and Klopp's impressed with him, Moreno's going to start there. Or even Joe Gomez has been rumoured to start there. There's 4 players that can start there. I'm staying away from Liverpool's defence. I don't know what's going on.
Got it.
What?
I've got it. Goal-scoring centre-back, Alfie Mawson. 4 goals in 9 games.
It's not bad.
Was it 9 games?
He played more than that in the season, but I feel like from his first goal to his 4th goal was about that, I think.
Yeah, something like that. We'll go with that. Yeah, Alfie Mawson, get him in. Striker.
Striker with Milner.
Sorry, I forgot where I was. Thoughts on Mooney?
I like him. He's grown on me more and more. I hadn't seen any of the pre-season, I was doubting him, but he seems to be first choice for Huddersfield. And saying that, that's the thing I forgot to mention when he said short term. When it comes to short term players, Huddersfield's first 5 fixtures: Palace away, Newcastle at home, Southampton at home, West Ham away, Leicester at home. They're all 5 games in which you could see maybe them sneaking a win, and Mooney could be the one to break through the defence and get the goals in them. So Huddersfield could be good. I think Mooney could be good as well for the first few game weeks.
Okay. Jackson Yates doesn't think Mata's going to play.
It's very congested. I think Mata, if he's going to... Well, if you're looking at the wings, you've got... I think Mkhitaryan should start. Pogba should start. Left wing, you've got Mata that could play. Martial that could play. Lingard that can play. Rashford that can play. There's a lot of congestion. So he could
So,
be right. He could also be wrong. It's too hard to say.
okay, so another one from Phone Bill 190. Do you think that it is best having 3 great strikers or 2 great and 1 small one?
2 great and 1 small one for me. Or at least not small. I've gone with, like I say, my attacking line is Lukaku, Jesus and Gabbiadini. But if you go 3 big strikers, you are severely limiting funds. Let's say, for example, if I take Gabbiadini out of my team, and let's go with strikers. Let's go sorted by price, unlimited.
Kane.
Let's say Kane's in there. Automatically, that front line is 30 plus million, about 33 million. And you get 100 million.
It's just under 2/3 of your just under 1/3 of your transfer budget.
And that's on 3 players. You've got to pick another 12 players with that remaining 66 million. That's extortionate.
It's less than 6 million a player.
Exactly. And if you go with a big midfielder, like I say, if I'm with Kevin De Bruyne, that leaves me with just over 50 million for 11 players. So I'd say you need to have that cheap option in attack, unless you are willing to just literally go nothing in defence, all out attack, basically.
Okay. Who will start as left back for Manchester United?
Not sure. Probably Darmian. Darmian seems to have claimed it last season. He stayed there for quite a lot of the pre-season. I think he could remain there for the remainder of for the start of the season at least.
Especially as Luke Shaw is out, and so is Marcus Rojo. Both of them being key players in left back at some points for United last season. Okay, right.
Thank you for subscribe, DM Razor, by the way. Carry on.
Do you think Fuchs is a good cheap option from Mr. Q?
Thank you, Calvin, for subscribing. And for the first few game weeks, absolutely not.
They've got Tottenham, haven't they? First game.
No, first game. Well, Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Man United away, Chelsea at home, Huddersfield away, Liverpool at home are their first 6. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Okay. Will Danny Simpson start?
Should do. They haven't signed any other right backs. But realistically, is he a good option? No. But
I'd only have him because he's going to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to play. There's no one else that can play there. He's a 2-point defender.
From Ninitopia TV, is Redmond a starter?
Should be. For me, if I was manager, I'd be having him starting. But I prefer Tadic.
Okay, so this is one that you might like to answer. Are you ready?
Go on, hit me.
Salah and Mooney, or Zaha and Firmino from Rated Mega?
Ooh. Salah's made me question everything. But I do like Mooney. And the other one was Firmino and Zaha.
Yeah.
I think that's got the potential to score well more than the other two, because it also got the potential that Huddersfield could get a bit of stage fright first few game weeks and basically do nothing in the first few games, score no goals. So that shines Mooney out, but you know for a fact that Zaha is going to at least get a goal or assist in a few games, and Liverpool are going to score goals, and goals have to come through the centre, which Firmino plays there. So safer option is Zaha and Firmino for me.
Okay, Larry Fisher, show us your team. You'll see it tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough.
Am I right?
I'm not showing it tonight then.
Oh, you can show it tonight.
I was still going to make changes tonight, but my current team is going to... Dictator Joe is back. Don't trust me, I'm a doctor. Anyway.
So, from Seb Hodson, a.k.a. Colasso Fajardo. Hey.
Hey.
There we go.
Hello, Seb.
Sane, 8.5 million, or De Bruyne, 10 million. Which has more potential for the whole season? Kevin De Bruyne.
Easily De Bruyne, because Sane is currently against it. I also say Nasri's not left the club, and he's scored a goal in pre-season, so he's also apparently still at the club. But no, De Bruyne's definitely going to play. Sane might not, so there's that worrying factor. Nasri actually isn't on the game.
Interesting.
Doubt he's going
Okay,
to play much of a part though anyway.
Matic at 5 million, worth a notice. He can take a long shot, yes, but he has 2 in him a season, 1 at the start and 1 at the end.
I don't like Matic this season. I feel like he's playing much more defensively. He hasn't got Kante next to him, so he can't go forward. I don't think he's going to score many points. Not as much as last season, put it that way.
From Joe Boardman, is my team okay? De Gea, Charlie Daniels, David Luiz, Bertrand, William Pogba, Ali, De Bruyne, Tadic, Lukaku, and Firming. I'm assuming it's Firmino.
Oh, okay. Seems all right. I'm seeing a lot of Lukaku's, which makes me worried. But yeah, I quite like the team.
It's a decent side. The only thing I would say again is Willian might not play.
Long term wise, I don't think he will, but for the short term, he's a cracking option.
Okay, so from Sean Stowe, Lukaku or no Lukaku?
Lukaku.
Lukaku or no Lukaku? Marcus Alonso, worth 7 million? Question mark from Rated Mega.
Yes. Personally, if you're going to spend 7 million on him, because you're basically spending 7 million for a winger.
From Carlos Hernandez, any 4 million defenders that might get some minutes? No. The Artistic Citizen, is Fraser from Bournemouth better than Tadic from Southampton?
No. Don't you diss my Tadic. How dare you?
What are your thoughts on Van Holt? I think we've already nailed that. Too expensive for the team he plays in. Cedric, is he nailed to start? Southampton have a great line of fixtures from Tom Flux.
Yes, he should do. There's no other really players that. Well, Martina left, so there's no one really that can push him out of the spot.
Okay. Macaulay is injured. That's not a question. Thoughts on Scott Dan from Shaz B?
Palace worrying. I'm staying away from Palace defenders just simply because they worry me. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Really.
Any good 5 million defenders for the first few game weeks? I currently have Stevens. I'm not sure who Stevens is.
Jack Stevens from Saints.
Oh, okay. He's a youngster, isn't he? Centre half.
Kind of. I think 22, 23, I think, maybe. Not sure. Just guessing.
And that's from Magician. 5 million. Pretty sure Charlie Daniels is 5 million, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so someone like Charlie Daniels could be a good pick. Nathan Ake. I wouldn't get both of them though. Phil Jones seems to be quite popular amongst you guys because you think he's going to play.
He could do, but again, long-term wise, it's not a viable option.
Yeah, or Alfie Mawson, like I said, hashtag goal-scoring defender.
He's the new Macaulay.
Oh, so I'm sorry I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm just going to do the bit I can do. Kanzija Arnautovic to score against United. He's probably going to be injured.
I don't think West Ham will do much against Man United.
I've already said I think we're going to lose about 3-1.
You'll get a goal from somewhere. It'll sort of be that goal that sort of comes in the commentators like, oh, well, yeah, probably 2-0 up with Man United, and it'll be out of nothing. Just get a goal. And, oh, and it's a goal here for West Ham, and that has really hit us out of the blue. And all of a sudden, a comeback could be on. 5 minutes later, 3-1, game over, basically.
Okay, so from Kanzija again, Gale versus Mitrovic.
Gale should start. Mitrovic hasn't really been liked under Benitez. He's good, realistic, going with IRL football. He's good to lob on the pitch. He's a beast. He's so hard to handle. And his Premier League form, to be honest, I'll get it up quickly. His Premier League stats for last season, or if the season he was in the Premier League, aren't too bad. Just over 2,000 minutes, 9 goals, 4 assists. The only problem is 2 red cards. I think that's where Benitez is sort of worried. But Gale should start.
Okay. Um, is is it extra risky an attack with Rooney, Gale, and Chicharito from Giannis Simenes?
I couldn't hear that. I was coughing. Sorry. What'd you say?
From Giannis Simenes. Is it extra risky an attack with Rooney, Gale, and Chicharito? Yes.
Yes.
Mitch Ross on fire. Okay. Is Ake starting game week 1?
Should be.
From Marcus Mitobi. Okay. 5-2-3, 4-3-3, or 4-3-4-3.
Depends on where you spend your money. I quite like 4 at the back this season, so I'm sticking 4 at the back.
Okay. I've gone for 3 at the back. Arsenal versus Leicester. Is it good to keep a Leicester defender?
No. I feel like just that one game, no. And then you've got to look at the fact that after that, they've got, in the first 6, they've got 4 big teams, including Arsenal. No, I don't think they're a good option.
Boruc or Begovic? Begovic by far.
Begovic.
Ow.
Although, I'm going to say it right now, I was asked a question on the FPL Updates podcast before the season started last season, Mandanda or Hennessy, and I called anyone who said Hennessy stupid because Mandanda was the best French goalkeeper for the past 2 seasons, and Mandanda has now been sold because he wasn't chosen over Hennessy. So that could still happen, but Begovic should easily start. I do apologise for calling people stupid, by the way.
What do you think of Atsu and Ward-Prowse?
Atsu, I like. He's cheap. He seems to be playing. He seems to be in form. I like it. Ward-Prowse, finally could be the season he nestles down and gets that first team spot that he so deserves. But with Lamina coming in, he might just be pushed out again. So, who knows?
Okay. 3-4-3 with Lukaku, Kane and Firmino, or 3-5-2 with Salah replacing Firmino?
Firmino, because then you've got more money to spend elsewhere. I feel like he'll have a better start than Salah.
Okay. Francis or Ben Mee as a bench player?
Francis. Bournemouth had a better start than Burnley.
So from Rohan Sharma, starting 11, Ben Foster, Cedric, David Luiz, Kolasinac, De Bruyne, Zaha, Xhaka, Mkhitaryan, Firmino, Lukaku, Lacazette. Bench, Manquillo, Tom Carroll, me and Elliot.
You've got a bench that plays.
A team that plays, the only person I'd probably take out is Xhaka myself.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Xhaka could be worth the risk. I think Xhaka and Henderson could be really dark horses for the price they're at 5.5 this season. Just a gut feeling.
Okay, yeah, no, I could agree with that. Mane or Kane or Sane? Kane.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Kane.
I think I've just realised I think it's Main or Kane or Sane.
For God's sake.
I like that, Kanjila. Atsu or Carroll, who should I bench in game week? Well, Carroll. Carroll's injured.
Maybe it means Tom Carroll.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I forget there's more than one Carroll now. I've benched Tom Carroll myself because I have Atsu and Tom Carroll. So I've put in Atsu just because if Newcastle are going to get a goal against Spurs, it's probably going to be through him or Dwight Gale.
Yeah, that seems to be
Matt
the
Ritchie.
main problem makers for Newcastle. Maybe even Matt Ritchie. Who knows?
Some of these aren't questions. Any prediction for that surprise average or better yet budget player? As in the past, there's like the likes of Vardy, Ali, Mahrez and Payet.
Or
Don't
the
say that,
breakout
mate.
stars of last season, like Etienne Capoue.
Etienne
Out of
Capoue,
nowhere,
bloody hell.
defensive midfielder, just goes on a scoring rampage. You look at me, I am the captain of the shit now, you belong to me. 131 points he scored last season, 7 goals and 2 assists. Before that, in the 3 seasons he played previously, he had got 1 goal and 1 assist in all 3 of them.
At Tottenham.
At Tottenham. A better team.
A Kachunga, someone that Kurt mentioned earlier, he could be a bit of a dark horse. Anthony Knockhart. He's not really had his chance in the Prem yet. I believe he was actually at Leicester though when they were in the Prem, but he never really got his shout.
No, he didn't get a shout really.
He didn't get a shout, no. Tom Ince finally getting a chance in the Prem. He could be another decent-ish player.
Delving a bit deeper. Mooney's also good. Delving deeper, I'm going to say it, I've just mentioned it earlier, I like Henderson. He's owned by 1.2% of people, and last season in just over 2,000 minutes, 1 goal, 4 assists, 73 points. He plays the entire season at 5.5, he's getting 100 plus points easily. The other one I like is Xhaka. At the end of last season, he calmed his game down. He got less yellow cards, less red cards, and I think he got 2 goals and 2 assists when they changed, or 2 goals and 1 assist, or 1 goal and 2 assists in the last 8 games they played with the 3 at the back formation, which if he keeps his first team spot and he gets rid of those red cards, could easily see him get 100 plus points. And also you're looking at the Tom Carrolls, the Chalobahs that has gone to Watford could also play. Ruben Loftus-Cheek could also be a risk. Another one, just gone to Palace I believe, if he's on there at the moment. He's not, he's probably still at Man United, is at Fosu Mensah.
He is. Fosu Mensah is actually a defender on the game.
He could play wing back
on FPL. Or
even midfield, and you've got a 4.5 million midfielder who gets clean sheet points like a defender.
Yes.
Nice.
What about someone like Shaqiri?
Don't fancy Stoke. I really think Stoke are looking. I think Stoke are worrying me this season. I think they could really struggle, so I'm staying away from Stoke.
What about the Ox, as he is in the 6 million area?
For me, he has sort of become accustomed to that right wing back slot, which means realistically you want him to be a defender. I don't think he's getting the right winger slot ahead of anyone else, and he could also be sold, so I don't fancy him too much.
Yeah, okay. They were just questions from me, not the people.
Slowly picking your team now, just not him, okay, him.
What about him? No, he's not good enough. Okay, I'll take him out quickly. Should I go for Forster and Dawson for the first 4 game weeks? I'm assuming that's 3 or 4 game weeks. That's from Eden Hazard. You gonna say anything?
I blanked out completely there. What'd you say?
From Eden Hazard, should I go with Forster and Dawson for the first game week? First 3 to 4 game weeks. I'm assuming he means Craig Dawson, the centre half, and Fraser Forster.
It's a good pick, but you could also go with Cedric and Ben Foster and cut out 0.5 million to spend elsewhere. Who knows?
Another good point.
Booyakasha.
Danilo or Bertrand?
Bertrand, long term, he looks much better, and Southampton's fixtures look really good.
The best 3 midfielders together from Larry Fisher.
Just 3 good midfielders, I think, isn't it? Is that what he's asking?
I believe so. As in, well, it's a hard question because of course you can't really answer it without knowing budgets.
Yeah.
So we might have to skip over that one, Larry, I'm afraid. Who to bench? Atsu or Ake?
Okay.
Okay. I just scrolled all the way to the bottom.
Oh well, let's just go from the bottom. We're getting quite a few questions a minute. We're not going to be able to catch up.
Who's the other person? It doesn't matter who I am.
Fun fact: you say his name like Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Found that out in one of my other streams.
Atsu or Matt Ritchie or Phillips?
Atsu, because he's cheaper.
Okay, from Gary Ash, should I go for Jesus as a third striker? Kane, Lukaku, and Jesus much? Question mark.
I'm not really too sure. I've just seen the other comment.
What was the comment? Oh, you love us. Oh. No. Um, right, back to the question at hand. Kane,
Um,
Lukaku, and Jesus. Is it too much?
Probably, because your other parts of the team are going to suffer.
Okay, good question from Simon. You've talked about Xhaka and the Ox. What about Iwobi and Walcott?
Whilst Ozil and Sanchez are out, either of them could be good. But you just don't know with Arsenal. They've got so many options to pick from. You don't know who's going to start.
Okay. You didn't answer the question earlier. Atsu, Ritchie, or Phillips?
I said Atsu because he was cheaper.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I just completely ignored you.
Goodness
Is Jones short?
me. You sort of crackled a bit there. I couldn't hear the question.
Is Jones sure to start?
No, maybe for the first game week or two, but after that, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Gabbiadini, question mark.
I like him. I feel like he's got good potential, and I feel like he's been overlooked dramatically. Current status by 6.3% of people because the flipping FPL Twitter is like, oh look, here's something that takes loads of research for main players. We're going to give you that for free and ruin the game. So, yeah, Gabbiadini's good. End of that.
Okay. Pogba or a Man City player for 8 million. That could include the likes of Bernardo Silva. That's the only one I remember off the top of my head. Sterling and David Silva.
Sterling, yeah. David Silva, yep. Bernardo Silva, yep. Pogba. Pogba's not going to get rotated. All three of them could.
So,
Basically. I'd
okay.
say Pogba.
Pogba. Okay. Interesting. Aaron Moy, a good option? Question mark.
No. I can't. Looking at the Championship, I can't tell people to stay away from him enough. Personally. And I have become that. I realised, when I was on stream with J&O, I realised a lot of the Championship questions are getting passed to me, and I'm slowly becoming the Championship person. If teams come up, they're like, oh, what about this? What about this? And you're like, thanks, guys. Soon I won't be that, so you have no one else to ask. But yeah, Moy will play a lot deeper.
They will have people to ask because there's still Wolves fans out there.
Direct them to Dave as a party. No, not Aaron Moy. Anyone but Aaron Moy.
Any better player than Zaha for less than 7 million from Michael Foley?
Tadic, Kachunga, Carroll. There's a lot to choose from. It's just about what other players you have in your team generally, but Zaha is still quite a good option. I don't want it to be overlooked.
Zaha's very good. I just think he needs to add a few more goals to his game.
Could be the season.
We said that for years.
2028. Zaha's 39.
It's like
could
Walcott.
be the season.
This is like Theo Walcott, some Arsenal fans. I'm not so,
Gotcha.
not all of them, but some of them. He's still got potential.
Yeah, but
for
some of them,
no.
Sol Campbell's got potential. He's got potential to be a world beater, him.
Firmino, Benteke, or Defoe from Eden Hazard.
Ooh. Defoe's not getting mentioned much, and I feel like Defoe's still a good player. Because you look at Bournemouth's fixtures, West Brom and Watford to start them off. Yeah, Man City and Arsenal, but out of them, Defoe is the one that if he's going to get a chance, he'll score. And he's scored against big teams before, and I think he can do it again. So I quite like Defoe.
Okay, so from Joshua Etches, thoughts on my team: Foster, Kolasinac, even, David Luiz, Cedric, Salah, Pogba, Willian, Zaha, Abraham, Kane, Jesus. On the bench, Ritchie, Myhill, Daniels, and Long. Personally, again, we said it a few times. Willian, we're not sure if he's going to play. I would probably get Ritchie sort of out of the team if he's going to sit on the bench, and get a bit of a cheaper midfielder, like Kurt said a few times, Tom Carroll, and invest that 1.5 million from Willian into another 8.5 million midfielder. Charlie Daniels is a decent player to have on the bench as well. and Shane, as long as he's playing for Southampton, is a good choice. However, with the likes of Gabbiadini, Charlie Austin returning to fitness soon, and also the wingers that the Southampton has at their disposal, Shane Long may not necessarily play.
I've just realised I don't think that's Shane Long. I
Do you not?
think that is the Long from Burnley, because I've already got 3 strikers on the thing. Kevin Long from Burnley.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
So I'm assuming that's just a £4 million defender to fill up gaps. Has to be.
So Abby's just started watching the stream and she said, I agree, his 1.5 million should be invested elsewhere. From FPL Nympria, hi Kurtz.
Hey, fellow YouTuber.
Satpal Darianani. Will Trent Alexander ? I'm assuming it play underneath. So will Trent Alexander play? I've heard a lot. I've got a lot of Liverpool fans, unfortunately, that are friends.
Chris. Thing is about Coutinho.
Chris, I've got a few others. The thing is about Coutinho. I think that he's going to play. I think Trent Alexander's going to play. Wing back.
Could play.
Right wing back.
I am staying out of it because, again, Liverpool's defence confuses me and scares me. So I'm staying away.
What do you think about Pied at Saints? Nailed.
I think Cedric's got to be better than him. Maybe because I feel like Cedric may not have the quote unquote match fitness, but I feel like Cedric's definitely first choice.
From one of my favourite people, Dimitri. Who do you think will perform best out of the promoted teams?
Just in teams in general or players? I'll leave that up to you if you want me to go into that.
It says promoted teams. So I'm assuming the teams. Personally, I'm going for Newcastle.
Newcastle are staying up, although not as comfortably as I thought at the start because their chance of business has been poor. The other 2 are going down. There can be some good players from them. It might be tight for a few of them, but I think they're going down.
God damn, I scrolled down again.
Oh, what are you doing to
Mkhitaryan to play behind Lukaku, ?
Not with Pogba potentially playing there. I think Mkhitaryan will still play on the on the wings. Although, with Mkhitaryan, he's going to get at least 1 goal a season from his offside bicycle kicks or scorpion kicks, whatever the
Scorpion kicks.
Screw they're
Come
called.
On. Get the terminology right. Valencia, Dave or Walker at 6.5 million.
I like Azpilicueta. He's made it into my team because he is. You think from centre back, he got 170 points. First game week, Moses is suspended. He's playing out wide. There's no one else that can play there. Rudiger could play there, but why would they stick a full back in centre back and a big bulky centre back in wing back? Makes no sense. Azpilicueta could stay there. Also, if Rudiger performs well, maybe even Christensen comes into the team and plays well, Azpilicueta hopefully will push Moses out of the way, start playing out wide. 170 points from centre back could be, if you're looking at it, the clean sheets, the goals and assists goes up even more than that this season.
Okay. Dimitris did say he knows that you're the man to go to about promoted teams.
Not for long.
If I replace Shisharito to Austin, I will be able to replace Matic to Iwobi.
Austin, I don't think he's going to play. I feel like Gabbiadini's nicked him to the first team spot.
I also think that, as a West Ham fan that knows a lot about his team, Javier Hernandez will be playing for West Ham for the first few weeks, and he will be our main goal threat. So if we're going to score goals, they're going to be through him. And if you're going to take out Matic for anyone at 5.5 million, because that's how much Iwobi is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should probably not get Iwobi. Just give me a second. I'm getting there. Joe Allen, Kapui. You're up.
Joe Allen makes me laugh.
Joe Allen. There's not really a lot of 5.5 million players, to be fair. Andre Gray went to Watford. Think he'd be a good shout?
Not really. I don't fancy him.
Stevens or Yoshida, who is nailed in? Neither.
Um, I like Stevens, but Yoshida's was ahead of him last season. I think Stevens has progressed quite well, and Yoshida's always been that sort of rotation backup player. So I'm really not sure. I don't know if Van Dijk comes back. Three at the back, I don't know. I generally don't know.
Tadic or Atsu?
Tadic.
So Kane, Lukaku and Jesus, I'm assuming this is responding to our answer to the question, is too much up front. So which one should I drop from Gary Ash?
Kane, Jesus or Lukaku?
Yeah. I mean, I'm instantly saying Lukaku.
I'm instantly saying Kane.
You're going to say Kane?
Yeah.
I know you're thinking about Kanemus, but what if Kanemus doesn't exist anymore?
What do you mean it doesn't exist? How dare you? You should drop Kane and go Gabbiadini and put hashtag Kurtyo in the chat. That's exactly my front line. You watch me get number 1 in the world.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Trent Alexander-Arnold will play, question mark, yes, I think. Is Tadic a short starter?
Should be.
Thoughts on Pogba or Mkhitaryan?
Well, hold on a minute. You've dropped Sean Stowe saying drop Kane.
Okay, and Grosh, Richie or Knockout?
Richie, you know what you're going to get. He's probably going to have a pretty, at least an average season. Knockout, he's going to be the only player attacking for Brighton, unless Pascal Gross comes in and does well. Pretty good in the Bundesliga, but unexperienced in the Premier League. I'm unwilling to comment as of yet. Could be good though.
Walcott, game week 1 to 4, question mark.
Don't think he's going to play personally, so I'd say no.
A question from Kurtio. Hey Nim.
That's not a question.
Thoughts on Van La Parra?
See, I think he's being massively underlooked because his pre-season stats were phenomenal. I think he got 5 assists and a couple of goals as well. And he was really liked. To be honest, I think he's the only player in the playoff final. He was the only player mentioned by, I can't remember his name. Who's the ball bloke off X-Men? The actor who plays him. I've had a mental blank completely.
Oh, don't.
Oh, I've got to Google this.
James McAvoy.
Don't think it's that one. Patrick Stewart, that's the one.
Oh, are you thinking about
Professor X on the wheelchair?
Yeah, it's James McAvoy in the newer ones, I think.
Oh. Well, he was the one who spoke. Reggie Van der Parra was the only one mentioned by name by Patrick Stewart, so he's quite liked. He's really good, and I think we all are under sort of looking him. Because you look at let's look at their owners percentage on FPL. You're looking at Ince having 2.0, which is quite a lot. Kachunga 0.4, which is the other winger. He could play in the centre, which is behind the striker, or even the strike up next to Mooney. And Van La Parra 0.2% ownage, 5 million compared to 6 million for Ince, Kachunga, and also Mooney. I think he's been massively underlooked, and consider the fact that going back, they've signed a fantastic player in Danny Williams. I think Van La Parra could be a really good player in FPL terms. 5 million.
Okay. From MN Condi, which formation is best? 3-5-2 with a powerful midfield and a decent front two duo, or 4-3-3 with an average midfield, a decent defence and a powerful front line?
4-3-3. I quite like having a more balanced team.
Dimitri's back again. Will Jesus be reincarnated this season? He already has been.
Hopefully, now that Jesus Navas has been kidnapped by a Spanish team, hopefully Gabriel Jesus, won't model himself over Jesus Navas, because then he's just constantly going to be crossing it into the first defender. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Cedric or Yoshida?
Cedric!
De Bruyne and Lacazette, or De Bruyne and Jesus?
De Bruyne and Jesus.
Who will play Gabbiadini or Austin? I think we said Gabbiadini.
Yeah, Gabbiadini's. I think he's got the nod.
Worth tripling up on Cedric, Bertrand and Gabbiadini.
I'd say, yeah, worth a risk. Well worth a risk for the first few game weeks. They've got fantastic fixtures, so why not?
Message retracted. Ooh. Thoughts on Kolasinac?
I think it could be good. But, there's rumours that he won't be starting, so I'm not sure, but I think it could be good.
Based on his first game against Chelsea, he's very powerful and very big and fast and powerful. I mean, Kurt, you could describe him as one thing. Joe's kind of player.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay, I've answered that one already. Rate my defence. Valencia, Ake, Bertrand, Kolasinac and Lascalas on the bench.
Lascelles.
Lascalas on the bench.
Good, strong. I think Ake could be replaced for different Bournemouth players that will be better. Lascelles, he's going to play Valencia. Kolasinac and Bertrand are good, solid fullbacks. I quite like defence. Quite like it.
From Satpal, Derian Nanani. Gabriel or Aguero, Sane or Sterling?
Gabriel and Sane, because Sane's preferred over Sterling, I believe. And Gabriel Jesus is going to play no matter what.
Best £4.5 million defender?
Simon Francis is someone that is going to be massively underlooked. He's going to play either centre-back or full-back. And I feel like he could have a really, really good season if he plays full-back.
What about the likes of Matt Loughton and Ben Mee, though?
Well, Bardsley has joined Burnley, and Ben Mee's going to play, but Burnley's fixtures for the first few are quite tough. Their away games, I think, you've got to feel sorry. Their away form was shocking last season. Look at their first 5 away games: Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, Everton, Man City.
Jesus.
So he's literally, you're going to have to rotate him with someone. And I feel like, Ben Mee could be good. Loughton, I'm in doubt because Bardsley's joined, so I'm not too sure. But Ben Mee I like.
Kyle Norton, you did mention him earlier.
Kyle Norton's another one. I feel like they have decent fixtures-ish. Southampton, Man United in the start, but then after that you've got decent fixtures barring the Spurs game. So maybe after game week 2 bring Norton in, I'd say. If you're being realistic.
Okay, so from Rick Powell, Fend Up. Will Fabregas show the form he showed last season at the end playing alongside Kante?
If he gets the starting spot, he could and probably will. But he's got some tough games coming up. But that'll suit Fabregas. The one long pass, one long shot could be what Fabregas needs to spark into FPL form.
Now this is an interesting question that I'm not sure if we're going to know the answer to. What type of manager is Frank de Boer? Attacking or defensive? The same about the new Southampton manager.
I'm not sure. I think with Palace you sort of have to be defensive. You look at the signings de Boer's made, he's strengthened up the back line. Look at Fossa-Mensah coming in. You look at Riedveld coming in. I feel like the back line has definitely been strengthened for Palace. I feel like he could be a defensive manager, sort of trying to make sure that he's got everything right in that sort of sense. As for the Saints manager, they've got 3 clean sheets in 5, so I'm assuming it's defensive. But they've scored a few goals in pre-season, but I don't know much about Pellegrino. I think De Boer is quite defensive, or could be good in the defence. I don't know much about either of them, so I'm literally making educated guesses.
I don't know a lot about Pellegrino, however, the thing is about De Boer is he's going to have to switch styles no matter what, because he was Ajax manager before, and he could literally just play 2 at the back and still probably win the league. So he's really got to change up his style no matter what here. So is Little P nailed on? I heard he wasn't match fit. Iheanacho or Little P? Little P is going to play.
Yeah, I can see that. Going on to how much I know about Pellegrino, for a good 2 weeks, I thought Pellegrino was Manuel Pellegrini. So it shows how much I know about him. Little P should be nailed on. I think they haven't really got anyone else. Sacco's shite. And
Sacco's injured, Carroll's injured, Antonio's injured, Arnautovic is a doubt, Andre Ayew could potentially play up front, however we're probably going to need him on the wing.
he's basically playing striker then, I suppose.
Faguli is basically been sold. So it's going to be an interesting loss. I mean, first game. Matic got 7 assists last year. Can he do it again? And should I get him? From Michael Foley. No.
Fair enough.
I don't think he can do it again. He's not got the same free role he had last year, like Kurt said. Pogba's going to get that free role. He's going to be told to sit, like he has done in the past for Chelsea under Mourinho. So, yeah, no, that's how I think it's going to go.
Jesus Christ, Dimitri.
I have not caught up yet. Goose Sheep Gospel. Guys, please answer me.
We might have already.
I might have.
I'll scroll up, see if I can find one of his comments. I can't.
Dimitri, is it difficult to retain all this knowledge in your brain?
I was laughing at.
It must be very strong. Lanzini, oh, god damn it. Lanzini, Klassen, Wijnaldum, which one?
Past game week 5, Klassen. Wijnaldum for the start, then Klassen, maybe Lanzini, but I'm not too sure.
Lanzini, it depends what West Ham.
Biased West Ham fan.
It depends what West Ham shows up this season. That's all I can say.
Oh. Which West
Klassen,
Ham this time?
I've been a big fan of in the Eredivisie over the past few years. And the same with Wijnaldum, but now Wijnaldum sits in a much deeper role than he used to. So out of the 3, I would say Klassen. Gabbiadini or Iheanacho?
Gab.
Gab. Do you think John Walters can be a surprise? Classed as a midfielder, and Andre Gray has just left. Could be good.
I had been thinking that because they've only got 2 strikers now, Vokes and Barnes, and they both sort of do the same role. John Walters could potentially play up front with one of them, and you know for John Walters, he's like one of them. He's basically like the striker version of Kante. You wind him up, and from the first whistle to the last, he's going to just continually run and press and have energy. So he could be quite good for me. He could be a surprise. I agree with you.
One thing I do think is that John Walters has a high chance that he'll be taking penalties. Liverpool coverage to be essential across the midfield. Myself, maybe if you're going to have Mane, Salah, or I was about to say Coutinho. Triggered. But defensively, no. Not really. Joel Matip is quite cheap, but that's about it. I don't know about you, Kurt. What do you think?
Probably agree with you, to be honest.
Okay. Can I? I've done that one. Can I go for both Salah and Firmino? If not, please suggest others from Eden Hazard.
Double up on Liverpool. I think Firmino's my only one. Salah or Mane, but I'd only go with one personally.
Personally, Mane. I think he's proven for years, well, the past sort of 3 years, that he is a very good Premier League player. Whereas Salah had failed at Chelsea previously, has done well in Roma and has come back to the Prem, so he's still going to have that settlement period, perhaps, in the Premier League. Why won't you be the Championship man for much longer, from Dimitri?
So hopefully I'll be out of the Championship and Sheffield Wednesday be in the Premier League for a bit. But never seems to happen. Get to the playoffs and I'm like, it's alright, don't want it anymore.
Man United's predicted back 4? Question mark.
I'm skipping that question. That is a minefield.
I mean, personally, I think they can go the back 5. If I was going to do it though, Valencia, Jones, Smalling, Bailey, and Darmian. There we go. Who will get more clean sheets the first 6 games, City or Chelsea?
Ooh, Chelsea have a tough first 6. Well, put it this way: Chelsea's first 6: Burnley, Spurs, Everton, Leicester, Arsenal, Stoke. City's first 6: Brighton, Everton, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Watford, Palace. City for me, even with their defensive worryings. City.
Okay. Um, Sabrat Akira, sorry we skipped your team. However, this is his team. Courtois, Valencia, Van den Holt, Danilo, Alexander-Arnold, Mkhitaryan, Mane, Willian, Kane, Rodriguez and Lukaku. What do you think? I mean, personally, Van den Holt could be better spent elsewhere.
Yeah.
Alexander-Arnold, if he's going to be on the bench, could be a decent player. Willian, I've said already, I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. And Rodriguez...
James Rodriguez from West Brom. £6 million, probably playing out wing.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a risk as well.
Mooney.
Yeah.
Mooney.
Kurt is shouting Mooney a lot, so I'm going to back him. I'm going to say, get Mooney up front.
I don't know if this is because I feel like he's going to do well, or because just for the fact I want more northern teams up there, I want Huddersfield to stay up.
I mean, Mooney, if you did want to spend the entire $6 million, someone, you never know, Berahino might just start playing well again.
Berahino with 0 goals for Stoke in the Premier League.
But a replacement for Willian. Gabbiadini. Oh no, hang on, that's a striker. That's wrong. Bad Joe. Bad Joe. Fabregas. Or Zaha. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Who did they say for Kolasinac or Bellerin? The answer is both. No, don't do both.
Kolasinac.
I don't have both anymore. I've gone for Bellerin because I'm not sure if Kolasinac is going to start the season. Okay, goodbye, Dimitri. He's gone to eat some snacks. It's just scrolled to the bloody bottom again.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
5 million Huddersfield defender Tommy Smith finished with 4 goals and 10 assists, and has a nice first 6 games. Is it worth it?
For a risk, yes, but it is a risk because £5 million for a new team coming up is risky.
Yeah. Stevens or Ake? Probably Ake.
Either, really. Both of them. Rotate them.
Okay. Best Southampton defender, Virgil van Dijk. Triggered. But the best Southampton defender, probably Cedric, or Bertrand is probably a higher point scorer.
He's definitely a higher point scorer if you wins by that 0.5 more.
Starting £4 million keepers.
The only one really is Rob Elliott.
Yeah, I didn't think there really was any apart from Rob Elliott.
Even then, that's still debatable because he might still not start the season.
Yeah, Boaz Myhill won't play. No, just remember Ben Foster. Firmino and a 7.5 million midfielder and upgrade defence, or Salah and Gabbiadini.
Firmino's option because that way you can get a decent midfielder and also
Antonio when he gets back from fitness.
Exactly, and upgrade your defence because you don't want to have a top-heavy team.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Personally, I'll be getting in Antonio as soon as he's fit, like day one, straight back in the team. Pedro versus Willian versus Fabregas. Pedro, for me.
Yeah, Pedro for me as well.
Is Tom Carroll worth starting to free up money to get more premium players?
Yes, I feel like he's definitely in the first team. He's got a wonderful left foot. With Sigurdsson out, could play further forward. 4.5 million for an attacking midfielder is a dream.
T-Tac, is Milner off penalties? As far as I'm aware, no. And I hope not, because he's in my team.
He's not off penalties. Firmino did take one whilst Milner was on the pitch, but Milner basically said, "Yeah, go on, mate. You can have this one."
In his boring voice. Mooney,
boring James Milner on Twitter. Firmino came up to me today and asked if he could take a penalty. I said yes. It was a good chat. He scored.
Mooney, Gabbiadini, Lukaku. Will this attack work for me for the first 5 game weeks? Yes.
Big risk, but Could have a big reward.
Big risk can lead to big rewards. Kurt likes Mooney, so as he's the championship
And
expert,
Gabbiadini.
I would agree with him. Bailly is secure. Well, they don't really have much choice. Man City predicted midfield. Now this is impossible to answer.
Skip.
Do you want me to have a go at it?
Go on.
Do you want to write it down and see if I get it right?
Go on then. You have a go and I'll have a go.
Okay. Right, so what I'm going to go for... I'm not going to go for specific positions. Just who's in the midfield, okay?
Okay.
Are we counting wingers as midfielders?
Yeah, go on then.
God damn it. Okay, right, so I'm going for Fernandinho. Are you writing this down?
Yeah.
Okay, Fernandinho. De Bruyne. David Silva. Sane and Gabriel Jesus.
Interesting.
You've written it down because I didn't.
Yes, I have written it down.
Okay, and you're going to write down yours because I don't have a pen or paper.
I know I am.
Okay, and just dictate Joe,
Just write it down. Answer another question whilst I'm writing it down because I can't multitask.
Okay, right. It's just scrolled up again. This is my team. What you think? F. Oh, it's down here. Right, sorry. Foster. I'm assuming Kolasinac, Danilo, Daniels, Kevin De Bruyne, Zaha, Ericsson, Lukaku, Jesus, and Firmino. I would say it's decent, but I don't know who's on the bench. And if you could free up funds to perhaps improve certain areas. The defence isn't too bad. It depends what sort of season Bournemouth have as to whether or not Charlie Daniels is good. Danilo, I don't think he'll be permanently starting for Man City when Benjamin Mendy gets back. Firmino will be Liverpool's main goal-scoring threat. However, he's quite an expensive attacking three. Should I rotate Foster/Fabianski depending on home matches or depending on opposition and weekly form? Yes.
Good options.
I would say.
I quite like them. I've said it in my rotation video. I do quite like them, and I think it's definitely worth it.
Company, what do you think?
If he's fit, he'll be good. If he's not fit, he won't be good. And can you tell if he's going to be fit or not? He's made out of paper mache, so no.
I mean, Company and Carroll seem to have the same physio. I knew you would definitely say Mooney, says Subrat Akira. Pedro, question mark. Yes. Who's the voice asking the questions?
Who is this man?
Who is this man? It's me, it's GX, the world's best friend of Kurt Hewitt.
And for 2 weeks a year, he becomes a YouTuber.
A year ago, I was here. Evening Justin, De Bruyne, and oh god damn it, why did it scroll up again? De Bruyne and Mane or Ericsson and Salah? De Bruyne and Mane for me. Kurt?
Same here. I like De Bruyne.
What do you think of Lakila? Likely and most probably will start alongside Benteke and Zaha, and he is just 4.5 million. Is that Lakila Sakai? Is that his name? Lakila Sakai?
I'm not sure really. What comment are you on?
Oh, Jason Lakilo.
What time is the comment you're on?
Oh mate, don't ask me that question. It's near the bottom.
So I'm assuming he's a Palace player.
Yeah, he is. I just looked at it. It's 4.5 million. To be honest,
Don't know.
I'm assuming that Townsend's going to play.
Yeah, he should do.
So I'd probably say he might be a decent bench player, but I can't guarantee he's going to play. No Tottenham players or no Liverpool players. For me, it would be no Liverpool players. Kurt?
No Liverpool players.
Foster for De Gea and get Bailly with the extra million on a 5 million defender. If so, I have Fonts, Cedric, and Dawson. So it?
Not quite sure I understand that.
Foster for De Gea and so basically take out De Gea and put in Foster. I would say yes, because Ben Foster's a good keeper and West Brom always are strong defensively. Get Bailey with the extra million, with the extra 5 million on a 5 million, with the extra million on a 5 million defender. If so, I have. I'm not sure what the question is. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to say skip.
Um,
I'm also going to say pick one last question because it's 9 o'clock. We've currently been streaming for 2 hours.
one last question.
Yeah, pick your favourite question.
My God. Are West Ham going to win the league? Who just typed that?
He says
I did.
while stopping to talk and type, as you can hear his keyboard in the background.
I don't know what you're talking about. No is the question, Gingy X. Right. Oh God, I don't want to choose. Why don't you choose? This is your stream.
I was going to say, okay, we have sort of switched roles. I'm going to go with one last team review from Kieran Sorwy. So congratulations, Kieran Sorwy. I've lost your comment. I found your comment. My team: Begovic, Valencia, Cedric, Dawson. And in the midfield, we've got Carroll, Pogba, De Bruyne, and Wijnaldum up front. Chicharito, Lukaku, and Jesus. With Hart, Simpson, Trippier, and Fraser on the bench. I quite like that. I like Begovic. Hart is
I think it's strong.
It is definitely strong. I would say Trippier on the bench is questionable, but of course he is injured. And
I think he's potentially injured, so that'd be why.
There's a better
That's
option.
why I've got him on the bench.
There's better options to Simpson, and I feel like with Leicester's fixtures, that's a massive risk. You're not going to pick up many points at all, because I think they could get bashed a few times. He could get a yellow card, so there's always that potential. The midfield is solid. Fraser's a good cheap option. Same with Carroll. Wijnaldum's a good average option, although I think there are better at 7 million. Pogba and De Bruyne could really rip people to shreds. Chicharito, Lukaku, and Jesus is still a strong front three. Quite a good team, actually. Quite a good way to end. Quite a good team.
I like ending with a nice, strong team.
Exactly. But yeah, MN Cond says, please answer. I can't find your comment.
Where's the... Could you send the question again?
Send the question again whilst I'm signing off. And I will John Stones start. I hope not for City's sake. We are going to be ending though. 2 hours on a stream is massive, and I'm quite tired, and I want to just go and relax. But it has been one of the best
FIFA.
and play FIFA. One of the best streams we have had on this channel. Well, the best stream we've had on this channel ever. 60 plus people watching. You've had massive amounts of questions. Sorry if you didn't answer all your questions. There is a lot. And you got to think, if you send in like 2 or 3 questions a minute, if I take a minute to answer a question, we've lost 2 questions immediately. So, yeah.
And just to answer your question, MN Conde, we did answer it already. We think it's a bit of a risk, but, you know, sometimes risks are worth taking. It's an expensive defender. Yep, Georgie is answering it now. It's too risky. New team to the Premier League, so you never know what's going to happen with Huddersfield. They could get spanked 5-0 every week like Derby did.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully, next week we might be on Thursday again. I'm leaving my job, so I don't know whether I'm getting pissed up on the Friday or the Saturday, something I've still got to find out. Probably the Saturday, because I've got Sheffield Wednesday tickets for the 19th. I don't want to be travelling up to London with a hangover. But, yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you all in the next stream. I don't really know what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm ending the stream. Thank you for watching. Been the best stream yet. Hopefully, bigger and better things going on and up in the world from here. Thank you for watching, and peace.
See you guys next year.
Next year, yes. His one appearance has been made.